This program is brought to you by the Vegetarian Society of Hawaii, a nonprofit organization dedicated to sharing with the community the many benefits of a vegetarian diet. Free monthly meetings include vegetarian experts found locally and on the mainland, quick and easy cooking demonstrations, and healthful and delicious food samples. Members enjoy an informative quarterly newsletter, social activities, and discounts at many vegetarian-friendly restaurants and health food stores. For an application, call 944-8344. That's 944-8344. Or visit our website at www.vsh.org. vsh.org.
Aloha, and welcome to the monthly public lecture of the Vegetarian Society of Hawaii. It's now time for our special guest. We're happy to have with us tonight Chef Catherine Blake. Chef Catherine Blake, BA, BD, has been studying nutrition and health for over 30 years and has been creating delicious plant-based meals for 25 of those years. She earned a certificate in micronutrition in 2008 and is currently studying the role of lipids in health. She has taught many classes in California, New York, at the University of Hawaii, Maui College, Paso Wellness Center in Kailua, and elsewhere. She is the author of Healthy Recipes for Friends and has created 2 videos, Aloha Sauces and the Maui Light Diet. A 1977 graduate of Skidmore College, she is also an interfaith minister. She helps her husband Steve to coordinate our Vegetarian Society of Hawaii events on Maui and lives on a solar-powered farm with him and many happy animals of the rainforest. Catherine's presentation tonight is entitled Cooking for Brain Power. Please join me in welcoming Chef Catherine Blake.
Hi, everybody. Aloha. I'd like to dedicate tonight's presentation to my new friend George, who I met yesterday. And to all of you who are here for the first time, who are wondering, what can I do to sparkle a little brighter tomorrow? That's what this is about, cooking for brain power. Is there something we can do? I think so, and I'll show you what, and I'll show you how. Little dinner candle here. Okay. Here's what you will learn today. A 5-step program to help you keep a sharp mind for years to come. We're going to learn how to make easy, yummy wraps, rich in brain nutrients. We're going to learn maybe a better milk for your mind. Try almond milk. We'll learn how to protect your brain power even when you're out in restaurants. Let's see how dietary antioxidants can protect your brain. We'll see if we can make one change to protect your brain power. I'd like to acknowledge some special people. I want to say I've got some friends in my life right now who are visionaries. It's amazing and wonderful to meet these people, and I'm so honored to be in their presence. I want to say thank you to Dr. Bill Harris, a visionary who is instrumental in getting this organization going. I want to thank Lorraine Sakaguchi for her incredible efforts at organizing every aspect of every event, pulls it off flawlessly. She's always working. I want to thank Jim Thompson, behind the scenes supporting every aspect of this group. I want to thank Dr. and Mrs. Lau, wonderful people. And I want to thank Steve Blake for your teachings. I continue to learn from you. Thank you to the Vegetarian Society of Hawaii for caring about human health, animal rights, and protection of the environment. You gently guide us to greater health and ethical living. Thank you. There's a new visionary in my life as well, Dr. Corey Liao. He's the head of Hawaii Pacific Neuroscience. Corey Liao, when we met him about a year ago or a year and a half ago, said, we can no longer afford to ignore the effect of nutrition on health. Here's the faculty of the Hawaii Dementia Prevention Trial. My role is teaching healthy cooking. Corey Liao's on the left, Dr. Liao. Okay, today's recipes. We're going to learn oatmeal with fruit, kind of a fun way to look at it, almond milk, delicious healthy wraps, creamy walnut dressing, steamed edamame soybeans. I bet you've already all had that, but I have an idea, a new twist on it. Sunflower seed seasoning. You're gonna love it. We'll have those all samples afterwards. Okay, what about when we're out at restaurants? Reality check. Here we are in Honolulu, or anywhere I go. It's mealtime. You have a choice. Walk to the corner and get what you always get, or make something at home. A lot of people go to the corner. Maybe they're not at home. Maybe they're miles from home. It's restaurant time, so we have to think about breakfast, lunch, snack time, and dinner. Can we make choices that are reasonable? I think so. I'll show you a few good ideas. Here's the restaurants, Ma and Pa Cafe. We serve breakfast and lunch all day. That looks promising. I would go in there. Vera's Country Cafe, breakfast and lunch, or Denny's. You can find Denny's anywhere. All right, here's a standard American breakfast. We all grew up around here. We've seen it before. This is the IHOP, International House of Pancakes. It looks like it would be filling and maybe kind of yummy, but maybe it has saturated fats, too many saturated fats. It's high in dietary cholesterol. It's high in sugar. There are advanced glycation end products in the bacon and the ham. There are heterocyclic amines in the bacon. You don't want those, believe me. And there's low fiber. Can we do better? Well, let's go vegetarian then. People say meat's too high in saturated fat. I'm gonna get me a cheese omelet with tomatoes and spinach. That's a winner, right? Well, you're getting the vitamin C, vitamin A, lycopene in the tomatoes, calcium in the spinach, and folate in the spinach. Those are good things. But it's still high in saturated fats. There are 12 grams of saturated fat in a cheese omelet. That's 2/3 of your entire day's limit, so that means you have to eat sort of maybe cabbage and things later in the day. I bet you don't keep up with that idea, but that's the amount. It's high in saturated fats. 1.5 ounce of cheddar cheeses has 7.5 grams, and 2 large eggs has 4 grams. So you're getting up there with sat fats, even though it's vegetarian. What about dietary cholesterol? Well, we've learned lately that dietary cholesterol is not the same as blood serum cholesterol, but the saturated fat leads to it. But you know what? It does contribute to some extent. 2 large eggs are very high in dietary cholesterol at 277 milligrams. I wouldn't choose a steak, but a steak is only 98 milligrams, so that's 1/3. Eggs are 3 times higher in cholesterol, dietary cholesterol, than a steak, and a lot higher than a salmon or something. Okay, so all right, maybe we won't have the cheddar cheese omelet. Let's talk about the saturated fats a little bit. The saturated fats in our diet raise our cholesterol levels in our blood. High cholesterol increases senile plaques in the brain, and that's why we're here tonight. That's what we want to avoid. The enzymes, that's beta and gamma secretase enzymes that create brain plaque, are inhibited when blood cholesterol is low. So the idea is, let's keep our blood cholesterol low. And there's a fun trick about it. Let's see if we can outsmart the doctors and do it without statins. I'll show you how. This is from the Journal of Biological Chemistry in 2008. Okay, then I'll go vegan. I'll have a vegan breakfast. That's gotta be a winner, right? Well, here's a vegan breakfast. It's low in saturated fat, hash brown potatoes with a side of vegetables. Yummy. It's high in antioxidants and high in vitamin C. You're doing a lot better already. Reality check. Have any of you here ever ordered a side of vegetables at a restaurant? Does it look exciting, or is it kind of anemic like this? You know, you want a juicy amount of vegetables, but sometimes you don't get that much. All right, here we are at the restaurant. Let's try a healthy breakfast. Oatmeal with fruit. It's very low in saturated fats, high in vitamin C. You've got fiber, carotenoids, and flavor. The mucilage fiber reduces cholesterol. Well, I can make that at home. Here's a fun tip. You cover your rolled oats with water and you soak them overnight. You have to soak them for longer than 10 minutes, like my friends were trying. They said, we tried soaked oats, but we got indigestion. I said, how long did you soak them? 10 or 15 minutes. No, it's better if you soak them all night long. That's with the rolled oats. If you're using more whole oats, they take longer to soften. Here's my breakfast bowl. I just got up, soaked the oats, opened the jar, pour it in my bowl, as much as I want today. Put on organic blueberries. Breakfast is ready. Takes about 1 minute, less. You're ready to go. You eat it, off you go. I've even been known to put it in a Tupperware container and bring it with me. Have it an hour later if I want to eat an hour later. Berries and grapes are wonderful. They boost brain power. There's a study in the Annals of Neurology in 2012, nice and recent article, that says that those who ate more berries delayed dementia by up to 2.5 years. So, couldn't hurt. Berries are yummy. Berries and grapes boost memory. The anthocyanidins, that's the dark pigmentation in them, then they can cross the blood-brain barrier. They've been found inside the hippocampus, one of the memory centers of the brain, a main memory center. They protect the brain with antioxidant and anti-inflammatory actions. So if you're going to make one change tomorrow, add a cup of berries or grapes to your daily life. Do you like berries? Who likes blueberries? Oh yeah. How about purple grapes? How about strawberries? Any of them, winners, total winners for your life and longevity and thinking power. Here's another idea. Let's try using almond milk instead of dairy milk. Okay, here we have some almonds. We have a glass bucket of almonds here. So we just put them in our grinder, or I like to put them in a nut grinder first, or a coffee blender, coffee grinder, and then it kind of squishes them really small. So then you take the powdered almonds, and you put them in a blender, add water, blend until smooth, and then you can strain it out. Sometimes I like to not strain it and I chew the little pieces. It's pretty easy that way. More water makes a thinner milk, less water makes a creamier milk. You can flavor it. You can drink it as is, or you can add a few drops of almond extract. That's kind of cheating, but it really is fun. Some sweetener to taste, maybe stevia. That's the plant of stevia growing in the left corner. Stevia is a very sweet leaf. 2 drops of stevia extract equals a whole teaspoon of sugar in its sweet flavor, but it does not interfere with your glycemic index. It's neutral, it's just a sweet leaf. Or you could use dark brown sugar, maple syrup, or you could add chocolate. Now, if you stay till the end, we'll have some tastings of almond milk by Silk brand, and there's dark chocolate or there's vanilla. But you can make it easily at home. Why almond milk? Over 800 elders were followed for 4 years. Vitamin E in the food-based style, which is the mixed tocopherols, that lowered the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease by 2/3. So that's a very large percentage of lowering your risk of Alzheimer's disease, just eating foods with vitamin E. Well, 1 cup of almond milk contains 7 milligrams of vitamin E. That's half your daily amount, with 15 milligrams necessary. This is from the Journal of the American Medical Association in 2002 study. 8 ounces of almond milk provides half your vitamin E in a good form, almost half of your calcium at 451 milligrams, vitamin B12 in the fortified almond milk, that's half of your RDA. You want to be sure and get your B12. You know, sometimes vegans ignore B12. They think, well, I'm living natural, I'm eating pure food, I don't need vitamins and supplements. But you know what? The B12 and the folate are necessary in the body. They help prevent the homocysteine and help encourage the production of SAMe, which you need for the brain to protect your brain. You need B12. You're not going to get it on a pure vegan diet unless you supplement it with tablets or liquid drops or in fortified foods. So don't forget your B12, guys and gals. Almonds are low in saturated fats. So we're trying to avoid saturated fats. We don't want to clog up the arteries. Even our brain arteries need to stay clear. If you're going to make one change, try putting almond milk in your refrigerator instead of cow's milk. You can drink it straight, use it in baking, add to coffee or tea, or pour it on your oatmeal. The packaged almond milk is fortified. You can taste that after. Little breather. Okay, here we are, lunchtime. Superman. Does anyone have a Superman lunchbox? No? You do? Okay, vegetarian lunch at the restaurant. Grilled cheese and tomato sandwich. That used to be one of my favorites. What's wrong with it? Well, 2 ounces of cheddar cheese has 12 grams of saturated fat. Again, we're at 2/3 of our daily limit. So vegetarians who have eggs for breakfast and cheese for lunch, oh, they are already over the limit of saturated fats. Fell over. There are also advanced glycation end products in aged cheeses. Anything that's aged or dried for a while develops advanced glycation end products. Those are tricky little guys. They go into the brain and you can't get rid of them. So this is not something we want. End products. Can't be broken down. End products. So aged foods, you'll see more about those in a few minutes. How about a vegan lunch then? Let's go healthy. Deep fried tempura. Yum, bring it on. Okay, we've got the essential fatty acids. The problem with deep frying foods is that the 2 essential fatty acids, linoleic acid, which is the omega-6, and alpha-linolenic acid, which is the omega-3, are fragile. And these oils, these fatty acids can become rancid. They can become rancid and then they develop a bitter taste. Partially hydrogenated oils. The cooking oils, the oils used for cooking that you buy, may be partially hydrogenated for greater stability. This creates saturated fats and trans fats. The essential fatty acids are then deformed and useless to us, maybe even damaging. Here's a little, I'll show you a little bit. So alpha-linolenic acid, the essential fatty acids they have curves in them. They kind of hula around in your body and they dance with other parts in your body and they merge and bond with things and it's all very contented and happy. When they become hydrogenated, the extra hydrogen molecule that's added makes them straight. They're no longer able to dance the hula. They're straight like this. The trans fats have the hydrogen added on the other side, the wrong side, so the body can't even recognize what it's supposed to be in the first place. So the saturated fats, who were hooling around with bends, have become solid straight as saturated fats. Now, can we use them in our body? We can use up to a certain amount, up to 7%. We can break them down and use them. But more than a certain amount, here it is, going through the body saying, what do I do now? I think I'll just hang on to an artery wall. I don't want to go anywhere. The body doesn't know what to do with it. I'll just hang out here. It builds up plaque. It builds up on the artery walls, including the brain arteries. Partially hydrogenated oils are solid or semi-solid at room temperature. Examples are margarine, lard, Crisco, and popcorn butter. Fingers get greasy just looking at this. I wouldn't want it near my tongue. Partially hydrogenated oils are found in packaged foods, such as crunchy crackers, cookies, and cakes. Oh man, don't tell me. It's found in deep fried foods. Well, I have a little yum down there because sometimes I love that stuff, you know. There's a famous author who writes fun little stories, Janet Ivanovich. Have any of you ever seen her books? She's outrageous. There's a star in her book named Lula. Lula starts off the day and says, I'm on a diet. I'm not going to have any of that, you know, milkshake thing, smoothie. I'm just having light. And then around 3 o'clock, she pulls in and gets a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts and said, my diet's taking a little break while I eat these. So I hope we don't do that very often. So what can we do? What's next? How do we change our habits? The stores are going to be in the same place tomorrow. Your relatives and your friends will offer you the same exact food tomorrow. You have to decide alone, in your quiet moments of strength, what you're going to do to protect your life. How about lunch wraps? Well, looks pretty lively. Let's see about lunch wraps. Antioxidant-rich wraps, colorful carotenoids, high fiber, whole grains containing the minerals. Now, when there are whole grains and nuts, you're getting your minerals that are needed for antioxidant production. You need selenium to make glutathione peroxidase. You need copper, zinc, and manganese to make superoxide dismutase. What are those long words? Well, they're antioxidants. They're like Pac-Man. They go in and they go gobble, 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 gobble. They eat up all the free radicals inside you, all the free radical damages. We need antioxidants every day, as much as we can possibly get. That is our secret. That is our gift. Carotenoids can be converted into antioxidants: beta-carotene, alpha-carotene, beta-cryptoxanthin, lycopene, and lutein. With wraps, every bite counts, enriching your brain and your body health. We want to be sure to add a nut-based or avocado dressing for proper absorption of these carotenoids. The thing is that with some people who are on a no-fat diet and they don't even have avocados or nuts, they're not stimulating the gallbladder to secrete the bile to digest the fats, and these are fat-soluble antioxidants, the carotenoids. You need to have a little bit of fat in your food to digest the fat-soluble antioxidants. Okay, how to make wraps. Well, spread some sesame tahini on your vegetable leaf of choice. We'll be having some of these tonight. Add tomatoes. Here's a cute little tomato. We have a bunch of these cut up in the kitchen. Thank you, Terry. The tomatoes have lycopene, some of those other carotenoids, vitamin C, natural fiber, juice, and flavor. You want the juice too. The water, the juice is good. Add a few sliced olives to your tomato, lettuce, and tahini sandwich. 92% less fat than cheddar cheese. Switch a little bit over from cheese to olives maybe, and other avocados. 66% less fat overall than cheddar cheese. It's got a healthier monounsaturated oleic acid, which can be broken down into lots of healthy nutrients in the body. And it's rich in antioxidant polyphenols, which create antioxidants. Top it off with a creamy walnut dressing. You can put your dressing in your favorite little dressing container. Here I have a beautiful blue jar a friend gave me, and I'll now pour my dressing. On the tomato. Thank you, Georgie. What about wraps and folate? What's the big deal with folate? We want folate, believe me. We want folate and B12 to keep our brains hopping. Where can we find folate? Well, there is a lot of it in beans. Any beans, all beans, every day, all day, you can have a bean. It's always safe. Beans. Greens and beans. Here are some greens. You could make wraps with these greens. We have kale, 141 micrograms of folate. We have collards, 129 micrograms. We have spinach, 194 micrograms in 1.5 cups. That's about half your folate needed every day. So greens. I got those nutrient levels from the Diet Doctor software. It's a nutritional analysis software, and you can look up all the nutrition in all the food you eat. You can see what you're getting too much of or not enough of. It's a wonderful tool for self-analyzing. You can be your own nutritionist. This was made by Dr. Steve Blake. Okay, in the archives of neurology, we have patients with Alzheimer's disease were 3 times as likely to have low folate levels. So be sure and get your green leafy vegetables and your beans every day. Top it off with the creamy walnut dressing, make it delicious. Here's what I have in my creamy walnut dressing, which you'll taste in a while on the wrap. We have flax seeds in the upper left corner that I powdered first. We have walnuts. You'll hear more about walnuts. We have vinegar, balsamic, and apple cider. That's the secret, 2 different flavors of vinegar. You wouldn't believe it, it really makes the thing come alive. Nutritional yeast, Himalayan salt. Show you, this is organic tamari, and garlic and pepper. So that's what's in the wraps on the top that we'll have tonight. Has anyone ever had trouble peeling garlic? It's kind of tricky, you know. So here's a simple way. You break apart the little pieces. You get a couple of the little cloves. That upper left picture, the big thing is a bulb, the little thing is a clove. Took me years before I figured that one out. Then you squish it. You take a knife and you squish it. Some people hit it with a knife and it kind of breaks the peel apart. And then it's easy to just pull off the peel, and then you make little piles of the purely peeled garlic and the shells. So that's a good way to peel garlic. What about the walnuts in the creamy walnut dressing? Well, in the critical reviews of food science and nutrition in 2010, they said that gamma tocopherol has been found to be more effective in scavenging free radicals, the ones that cause inflammation. Taking synthetic alpha tocopherol has been found to reduce gamma tocopherol in the blood in serum levels. So what we're looking at here is vitamin E. Translation, gamma tocopherol is one of the forms of vitamin E. There's alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. So what we want is a good form of vitamin E. Now this form is especially useful in the brain. Gamma tocopherol is the one for your brain. We're cooking for brain power tonight. Go for the gamma tocopherol. It's hard to find. You'll never find it in a pill. You know, all those pills at Long's and the different stores, they're DL-alpha tocopherol. They're artificial. They're synthetic vitamin E. They do not do the job in your body. They do not do the job in scientific studies where they say found not to be effective. They used the wrong form. They used the synthetic form. I remember that by saying DL-alpha, and the L stands for lousy, the D, lousy alpha tocopherol. But all the other mixed tocopherols are excellent for your health. How much is in walnuts anyway? Well, A cup, which we're not going to eat a whole cup of walnuts, but you get 20 milligrams in English walnuts or 28 milligrams in black walnuts. And our daily need is only 15 milligrams. So have them around as a snack, and you're off to a good start for getting your gamma-tocopherol for your brain power. Blend your dressing up in the blender and put it on your wraps. Okay, why are wraps good brain food? Well, they're high in vitamin C. They've got the cruciferous anti-cancer indole-3 carbinol in them, in the cabbage and the broccoli, if you're using a cabbage wrap. Antioxidant lycopene is in the tomatoes. They're low in saturated fat. They're high in a variety of carotenoids, which make the antioxidants. Calcium is in the tahini. Vitamin E is in the almond butter. And there are no advanced glycation end products, which you get from overcooking meat or over-drying things. Here I am at the University of Hawaii teaching food for health. If you're going to make one change, try using lettuce instead of bread. And try using nut butter, any kind of nut butter, instead of cheese. All of a sudden, your sandwich has a whole new meaning. It's got a green leafy vegetable or a purple leafy vegetable, and you're using nut butters. You can experiment. Try kale leaves with almond butter. Try lettuce with peanut butter. Mix and match. Here's our garden. Do you see any folate in this picture? Folate comes from foliage. 3 o'clock, oh, tired, snack time. What am I going to do? Well, these things are everywhere. But the refined sugar rush can contribute to advanced glycation end products if continued over 2.5 weeks. The AGEs increase brain inflammation, and they're low in fiber. So let's say somebody has snack kinds of foods every day. They're contributing to inflammation every day, including brain inflammation. Ouch. Advanced glycation end products, causing trouble in the brain. So here we get pop quiz. What's that soda on the right? All right, addictive foods. It's the mood, not the food. I got my share of addictions. Facing them down pretty well. Maybe it's difficult to make the switch to healthier habits, so let's plan ahead. Oh, here's a good snack. Not great, pretty good. You can make popcorn. Instead of butter and salt, maybe top it with nutritional yeast. This is a nice complex source of B vitamins. The yeast is dead, so it's not going to contribute to yeast problems. Nutritional yeast smells a little bit like a cheesy powder or chicken broth. It's got a nice smell to it. I'll pass this around and you can open it and sniff it. Tamari soy sauce instead of salt. Spirulina for a single-celled protein to enrich the popcorn. Maybe a dash of smart butter to make everything stick. And a little cayenne pepper if you like spicy things. There's a pretty good snack. You can pass around the nutritional yeast. Have any of you not seen nutritional yeast before? Maybe most, okay. Anyway, you get to see it now. You can pour a little in your hand. It's just a nice flavored B vitamin supplement, food supplement. Okay, let's look at another snack, maybe a better snack. Vitamin C, here we have mango juice or mangoes. We have grapes or grape juice, resveratrol, a nice antioxidant in the grapes. Vitamin C in the mangoes. It's necessary. Vitamin C is necessary so that the vitamin E can continue its antioxidant action. I learned something really fun in the book Vitamins and Minerals Demystified, a McGraw-Hill published textbook by Steve Blake. And one thing I learned there is that when you eat vitamin C on a regular basis, you're getting it in your system, it can recharge the vitamin E. Now, vitamin E goes in the cells, in the inside of the phospholipid cells, and it neutralizes, it quenches free radical damage. Okay, there, it's done, it's exhausted. It says, okay, I did the job. Here comes a vitamin C and says, let me charge you up. And it says, okay, I'm charged up. I'll go back in and quench another free radical damage. Okay, it can do it all day long. As long as you're giving your body vitamin C over and over, It can recharge the vitamin E. So the difference is that the vitamin C is an antioxidant that's water soluble, and the vitamin E is a fat soluble antioxidant. You need them both. Because just living every day, we create free radical damaged cells. It's a good idea to get antioxidants every single day. This was taken from a study in the Archives of Neurology, 2004. Okay, how about the best snacks? If you have it at home, you can't really eat junk food if this is what you have. Mixed nuts, sunflower seeds, blueberries, purple grapes, apples. You're doing really well if those are your snacks, because every single one of them has a variety of antioxidants. And what you want to protect your brain power is a whole combination of antioxidants every single day. If you're going to make one change, leave the refined foods at the store. Leave the junk food at the store. Here you are at home. Well, you're not going to feel too sad if that's what you see. High in colorful antioxidants, high fiber, and plant polyphenols. Fiber's underrated too. I think if people eat this kind of food, they have a healthy digestive system. I mean, perfectly healthy. Every day, no complaints, no worries. Everything works just perfectly. So let's eat whole foods to get a lot of nice whole fiber. And that helps take out the trash every day too. Refreshment comes in many forms. Maybe you weren't really hungry in the first place. It's not me. Could be me. It ain't me. Swimming, upside down. Swimming's always refreshing. I always feel happy and refreshed, as though I've had a big dose of antioxidants when I swim. You know, there's an old story that a man came to Hawaii and he said, I've been here for a while and I'm feeling depressed. So he went to a kahuna, a Hawaiian healer, and he said, what should I do? And the kahuna said, well, here's what you do. You go to the seashore and you gather seaweed. You make a seaweed lei. And then, when you've made your lei, you put it around your neck, and then you walk into the water and let it float off. Well, what this wise elder knew was that just the act of going into the water and getting the head underwater so that the lei could float off was going to cheer the person up. Or you could go paragliding. I know someone who's over 80 years old who still paraglides. It's amazing. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Bill. Cooking for brain power. Let's talk about some cooking methods. Does that make a difference? Yes. Frying, broiling, or barbecuing meat can result in the damaging advanced glycation end products that I've been talking about. These AGEs can increase brain inflammation. They can generate an estimated 50 times as many free radicals when compared to normal healthy proteins. So 50 times as many free radicals. We don't want 50 people against us at once. That would be like trying to fight off an army. Well, that's what your poor brain is fighting off when you have the fried, broiled, or barbecued meat. Sorry, it was just the 4th of July. I hate to tell you this right now. This is from a medical journal in Kuwait, 2008. All right, here's a standard American dinner. You know, I grew up with this kind of food sometimes around me. My beloved brother says, I just had a steak every time I talk to him. He's proud of it. Well, are there problems for the brain with this? I think so. It's high in saturated fat. There are the advanced glycation end products from barbecuing the meat. Not nearly enough vegetables. Heterocyclic amines form when grilling. It's the overcooked outside edge of the meat. Low in fiber. How can we do better? Well, you know, grilled vegetables do not form the AGEs. So you're safe. Even if you want to barbecue vegetables, you can do that. All right, out to dinner. Here's a good restaurant dinner. It's good, but not great. Sushi, vegetarian sushi. I assume it's something vegetarian in the middle there. White noodles and white rice are a little bit low in fiber. Actually, they're very low in fiber, and they burn quickly like sugar, so they can increase the glycation in the brain. More vegetables are better. Best restaurant dinner. Oh, how about a vegetable curry with tofu and brown rice? This will burn long, slow, and clean in your system, providing your brain with abundant minerals, antioxidants, and energy needed for mental stamina. Does that look good to you? Looks good to me. Well, now then, what are the best cooking methods? If I can't go barbecuing, well, raw, no cook. Or you can steam, boil, and lightly stir fry. How come? Anyone want to guess? It's the water. The water maintained in the foods prevents them from over drying, and it prevents the heterocyclic amines forming on meat products or the acrylamides forming on carbohydrates. So you're not getting your advanced glycation end products if you cook with a lot of water. Now, we've gone through breakfast, lunch, snacks, dinner. You can have a side rider on your dinner. I like edamame soybeans. They're easy, they're quick, and they're nutritious. To prepare the edamame, all you need to do is steam them for 5 minutes or until they're soft, and turn off the heat. Then you use a slotted spoon to remove them from the pot, put them in a ceramic bowl, sprinkle with sea salt, or tonight we're going to have toasted sunflower seed topping. 1 cup of edamame. We could easily eat 1 cup of edamame. They're delicious and easy to eat. You get 200 milligrams of folate. There's half your folate. You need the folate and B12 for your brain. You get 30 milligrams of vitamin C. Well, you need 75 milligrams a day. Throw in a few vegetables and fruits, you're there. You get 22 grams of protein. I only need 46 grams a day, but you know what? Most of us are getting too much protein every single day. But this provides half of a day's worth. You're getting 261 milligrams of calcium. That's a quarter of 1,000 milligram RDA. And you're getting 108 milligrams of magnesium, a third of your magnesium. You know, the magnesium's the muscle mineral. Wow, edamame. A winner. What are we going to put on it? Sunflowers. I used to live in Kansas City, Missouri, and I would see sunflower fields, and it was stunning. It was beautiful. What a gift. What a gift of nature. Okay, how do we make toasted sunflower seed topping? Well, measure out 2 cups of the sunflower seeds and add 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. Now, I've learned that all the salts taste different. Some are very salty and some are very mild. The sea salts generally are milder, and sometimes you get a sea salt that tastes more like minerals from the ocean. That's exciting. We harvested our own salt in the Sea of Cortez from a salt mine, and it was very flavorful, delicious. Didn't have any of that acrid flavor that you get with a chemical salt. Okay, you toast in a skillet, you toast the seeds and the salt on about medium heat for about 5 minutes until lightly browned. You have to stir frequently to prevent them from burning. Nut grinder till they're powdery, and then sprinkle them on top of your edamame soybeans. It's nutritious, quick, and easy. So why would we do that? What's the big deal with sunflower seeds then? Well, sunflower seeds for brain power. That's the question of the day. Alzheimer's disease patients showed significantly lower selenium levels, and 1/2 of a cup of sunflower seeds contains 45 micrograms of selenium. The RDA is 55 micrograms, so you're getting almost all of your selenium there. This is from the British Journal of Nutrition, 2010. Just 2 tablespoons of sunflower seed topping provides about half of your RDA of vitamin E at 6.5 milligrams, 1/3 of your selenium, a little zinc, all of your copper, which isn't that hard to get, a nice amount of fiber, and even a little bit of protein. The question today is how to build brain power. Well, let's enjoy more antioxidant-rich plant foods. Fruits, berries, vegetables, nuts and seeds, beans, and whole grains. Plant polyphenols can have antioxidant effects. There are catechins from tea. This is astringent. Tannins. Isoflavones from soy. Soy isoflavones are cancer protective. That's been shown in many studies. Resveratrol in dark grapes. Zeaxanthin in green leafy vegetables. Anthocyanins from dark berries. Indole 3 carbanols from broccoli. another cancer fighter. So nice antioxidants here. And I want to congratulate you for coming here tonight. It shows you care about yourself and your future and your thinking power tomorrow. Here's what you've learned. A 5-step program that can help you keep a sharp mind for years to come. 5 simple, nutritious, and delicious recipes. How to switch from dairy milk to nut milk. How to order healthier food at restaurants. Cooking methods for protecting the brain. And how to make one change for brain power. You can do it. Up-level your food choices for brain power and overall health. Learn it, live it, love it. Mahalo and bon appetit. Would anyone like to ask a question? Go ahead, in the back. Levels of protein. My suggested level as a woman over 50 is 46 grams of protein. Men, I think, are about 56 grams of protein suggested. Every time we analyze people's diets with a nutritional diet doctor, we find that if they're eating fish or meat or eggs or chicken or cheese, they're getting a large dose of protein all at once in that meal. And if they have 2 meals that way, they get a double large dose. A lot of people are getting more protein every day than their bodies need and their recommended daily allowance. And the problem with that is that the body breaks it down poorly, when it causes free radical damage, basically. Thank you for the question. Yes, Madame, in the white? Raisins do have resveratrol. They're very good, they're handy. The grapes also have the juice, so you get more of the fluid. Whenever anything is preserved still with its own juices, you're getting more benefits. You're getting a little more fresh vitamin C action than with the raisins. Raisins are pretty good though. The question is, do you get B12 from folate or folic acid? No, they're separate. They're both in the B vitamin family. But the B12 needs to be supplemented if you're on a completely vegan diet. B12 is normally found in animal products. If you want to make sure you're getting enough B12 and folate, now you need folate and you need B12 together to prevent the accumulation of homocysteine in the blood. And the homocysteine is a marker for trouble in the blood. It prevents SAMe, and SAMe is a good beneficial nutrient, a brain nutrient. You want SAMe for your brain. You need SAMe in your brain. Homocysteine prevents it from happening. So you need B12 and folate. Even people who are meat eaters, like many people I know, are not getting enough B12. There are a lot of reasons. So I suggest that you would supplement it, B12. Yes?
Where do the animals get the B12?
The animals get the B12. It's a bacteria in the intestines. And now humans, the jury is still out, the school of thought on whether or not humans can make B12 in healthy intestinal tracts. And I think it's possible, but the science hasn't come in on that yet. It's a bacterial product. Not a dirt product. Oh, B12 is a bacteria product, byproduct. Not enough. And you can't guarantee that that dirt has that bacteria. Nice question. Any other questions? Yes, sir. No. Steel cut oats are probably better. They're hardier. They're tougher. They'll make stronger muscles for you. But for people who are maybe moving along quickly through their lives, soaking the oats overnight is nice and easy. You could try soaking oat groats, and I've tried it, but they never get very soft. Thank you for the question.
Second question.
The question is almond milk better for you than soy milk or rice milk? They each have strengths. I think that the almond milk is superior because of the vitamin E. The soy milk has the soy isoflavones, which are nice cancer protective nutrients. The benefit of any of the nut milks or rice milk is that you're not having the cow's milk, which is congestive with saturated fats and recombinant bovine growth hormone and fertilizers, pesticides, and antibiotics that the cows may have been fed, who you're getting the milk from. So that's why the nut milk is better also. Coconut oil has medium chain triglycerides, which can be broken down by the brain in the case of some starvation, and in the form of ketones, the brain will grab for that and use it as nutrition. It will digest it. But the coconut oil is about 96% maybe saturated fat, and that's going to clog up your arteries, including your brain arteries. So maybe you could have, if someone's late stage, middle to late stage Alzheimer's, go ahead, use some coconut oil, but I wouldn't use it for any other reason, because it will create the clogging that we're trying to avoid. Is B12 available in other sources, for example, goji berries? No. B12 is going to be used, I would supplement it with pills or drops. You'll get the B12 that way that you need. You don't want to go for more than a year without it. It can start to create nerve damage and peripheral neuropathy. The question is, what are acrylamides? How are they produced, and what is the effect of them? Acrylamides are produced when complex carbohydrates or simple carbohydrates are cooked too much. They're dried out, they're cooked too much, and they get sort of a glaze on the outside of the food. The effect of them in the body is that they have been polymerized, plasticized. They can't be broken down anymore. Advanced glycation end products. In the brain, they would contribute to the inflammation, swelling, and free radical damage. Yes? Absolutely. Avoid Maillard reactions. Very good question. The question is, if coconut oil is bad because of the just 87 to 95% saturated fat content, what about coconut milk? Well, coconut milk has some saturated fat also, but a lot less than coconut oil. I think that the coconut milk saturated fat is 60, I don't actually know the number of that, but I know it still has some. So I personally have reduced my coconut milk use to once a month or so, once every few months, as a treat. Coconut water is great, by the way, no problem, anytime, always good, yes? The question is, if we want to stir fry vegetables, what kind of oil shall we use? It's been an interesting journey for me, this food journey and nutrition journey and learning, and man, wisdom comes at a cost. No oil. I'm using water. I put some water in and I put a lid on and I kind of steam fry the vegetables. It works. Then I add in seasonings, garlic, powders. It's fun. It winds up being fun and everyone's happy in the end after all. Someone had a question. Yes? Yes, excellent. The question is, does nutritional yeast have B12? Yes, it does. Some brands are fortified with B12, and you might want to look specifically to find out that they are, and then you can get a nice amount of B12 every day if you're using the nutritional yeast. Excellent question. Thank you. Yes? The question is, what about walnut oil? My thinking is that walnut oil is going to be excellent in gamma-tocopherol form of vitamin E. Wonderful. Why not just eat the walnuts? We're getting to the point where we don't even buy the bottled oils anymore. I'm sort of lonely for them because I got used to cooking with oils for all those years, but I'm learning ways around it, and instead I chew on the nuts. And I think it's healthier and my brain will be protected as well. Yes? Okay, the question is, what about the difference between organic versus non-organic foods? I'll answer that one first because there were a few complex questions there. Organic foods are going to be better for your brain because you're not going to be getting the pesticide residues that will be on foods that could lead to inflammation in your system. We're trying to keep a sharp mind for years to come, so let's do all we can to help keep the wind at our back as we sail through life. And organic foods is an excellent way to go. You also asked about the cans. Could you repeat that question, please? Okay, the question is, does pasteurized juice destroy the nutrients in the food? Probably to some extent. You know, if it's exposed to heat, the vitamin C goes down. So the real solution there is to chew on the fruit. Any other questions? I have some ideas for you, my friend. The question is what to drink. Since fruit juices are so high in sugar, and you're decided to drink Arizona green tea, is there something better? I have lots of thoughts on that. One is that we travel in Mexico sometimes, and they have agua frescas, which are mostly water and a dollop of fruit juice concentrate, or fruit juice. So you're getting maybe 50-50 or 80% water, 20% papaya juice or something, and they're wonderful. So it's diluted with water. That's one thing if you need the refreshing electrolytes. The Arizona green tea has the caffeine. You're getting the green tea and the catechins, which are antioxidants. But personally, I find that if I have too much caffeine, or even any caffeine at this point, it throws my nervous system a little off balance. I start talking more than I'm listening, and I'm not such good company. If you get two people in a row who are drinking green tea, watch out. What do I drink? Well, I have a variety of drinks. I choose V8 juice, or I try and keep a variety of different juices around, vegetable juices and fruit juices. Maybe I mix them with water. But then the other thing is always keep a big jug of pure water near you, wherever you are. Then you can choose the water first and your nutritional beverage second. Okay, thank you. Other questions? What an incredibly intelligent audience. Clearly, you've been doing Cooking for Brain Power already. These questions are right on the mark. Thank you so much. Please enjoy wraps and edamame soybeans with sunflower topping.
Thank you, Chef Catherine Blake, for a delightful and informative presentation. We'd now like to invite all of you to enjoy some tasty vegan dishes, courtesy of Chef Catherine Blake and Down to Earth. Mahalo to all of you for coming, and have a safe return home. Good night, everyone.
This program is brought to you by the Vegetarian Society of Hawaii, a nonprofit organization dedicated to sharing with the community the many benefits of a vegetarian diet. Free monthly meetings include vegetarian experts found locally and on the mainland, quick and easy cooking demonstrations, and healthful and delicious food samples. Members enjoy an informative quarterly newsletter, social activities, and discounts at many vegetarian-friendly restaurants and health food stores. For an application, call 944-8344. That's 944-8344. Or visit our website at www.vsh.org. vsh.org.